check the sounder, it is loaded.
Today's episode is the final episode of the Queensland spearfishing trip, and what an epic session this was. I've combined 2 days of diving, awesome non-stop adventure, action-packed fish, crayfish. We get it all and we get on to a serious fish at the end.
Yeah!
We're dropping deep with friends and you guys are going to absolutely love this. Stay tuned.
That's
Beautiful.
big.
We have it. We are well and truly done with Queensland. What have we got here?
We start the day bright and early, just as the sun's coming up. We've got a couple of divers on board. We're diving with Benji from Hooking Adventures. We've got Jake, Dion from Submerged Souls Spearfishing, and of course Benji from Hooking Adventures. Diver Mons along for the ride and get some diving into. As we make our way out, a few of the crew are a bit sleepy, so they get in some well-deserved Z's before we hit the water.
Alright, this is our first dive of the day. Everyone's just getting suited up. Got a couple of guests on the boat today. Dion.
G'day.
Got Sam from WmL and Divermon. And we got Jakey up the front there. Anyway, we're going to get into the first dive. We're hoping for big reds, big nanny, so fingers crossed, see how we go.
Then when the other guy sees, he can go after them.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter if the guy on the camera's like 5 metres behind.
Alright, so we're on the mini coater at the moment in 34 metres of water. We're all suited, we're getting weighted up, and we're going to do probably 1 or 2 warm-up dives, and then we're going to get down to the bottom and check the sounder. It is loaded. So hopefully we're gonna be onto some fish. Let's get it.
Now this isn't my first time drop weighting, but it is my first time drop weighting for spearfishing. It's definitely something that you do not want to push past your limits. We start up with some warm-up dives, no drop weights, just warm-up dives down to 28-30 meters to get ourselves ready for the deeper drops. I cannot stress enough, and you'll hear me probably repeat myself time and time again, do not drop weight past what you can comfortably dive to without drop weighting. Is the fastest way to get a blackout, and then you're in serious issues. With that said, we do a couple of drops down, and my first drop of the day I go down to about 28-30 meters, and yeah, there's fish on, they're down there, there's some greasy cod. Didn't see any nanagai, but I just wanted to include this clip just to show you what it's like to travel back up. And it's a hell of an effort with a full weight belt and everything, and that's something that the drop weighting just takes away. It makes it so easy to come back up when you've got no weights on. Once you get to that 10-15 meter mark, you just accelerate up towards the surface. You can conserve energy, and it just makes for more enjoyable diving. Once everybody's got a few comfortable dives under their belts, pun intended, lungs are nice and stretched, it's ready to get onto the drop weighting system. Now I absolutely cook this first drop weight, and I'm not used to diving with drop weight and the spear gun, but yeah, I do the wrong thing. I end up getting all kinds of tangled and muddled. I end up getting all kinds of tangled with my gun. I'm in the wrong position for it, and I wasn't quite ready. It was a bit difficult doing it off the back of the boat with the swell. And you can see I come down, and even when I'm down at about 25 meters, the line just runs through my gloves, and that's it, failed dive for me. So go back up to the surface, get onto my surface breathing, and it's Benji's time. Benji goes straight down, and we're seeing plenty of fish down on this spot, but we're just not seeing the nannagais that we're after. I now take a dive down, and down to the depths we go. It is really fun to do drop weighting, but once again, please only drop weight if you're with people that have done it before and they've got experience, or if you're with incredibly experienced free divers. If you have an issue down here, you get your spear caught in a hole, the fish runs up, you get line wrapped, or you black out, you need your buddies to come down and be able to assist you. So it's not just about what you can dive, it's about what they can dive, and if you can get assistance at depth. Thankfully, with this crew, everybody's heaps experienced at doing deeper drops past 30 meters, so we're good to go. Unfortunately, there's no nanagai down here. There's just a ton of greasy cod and some slaty brim, and I've been told no shooting of the greasy cod because we're going for nannies. As there's no big reds down there, we decide to call it and go to the reef. On the way out, we come across the first of many sea snakes of the day, and my second drop onto this reef section. I can already see 2 coral trout here, and they're good size, so I'm definitely going to try and take one. Unfortunately, the little tangs do scare the coral trout away, but I bide my time, look away, act as if I'm disinterested in the coral trout, and just let myself drift down towards the coral trout. The fish provides me with a nice shot, and I take it and plug him just behind the gills. I stop him from going underneath the coral plate, and it's up to the surface. We're only diving in around 18-20 meters here, which is a lot nicer than diving down to 30. You don't have to take as long a rest stop on the surface, so you can dive, and thankfully the water is almost crystal clear. You can see down to about 20 meters there. It's a bit hazy, but there's enough to see what's going on. After I've bagged this nice coral trout, bleed him out, get him on the boat, and it's time for some more diving. I don't waste too much time, and my next drop down, I see that a big tusky had gone underneath this coral. I thought that was upside down when I took this shot, but I'd actually just corrected myself. Get a nice stone shot in him, and he is a thumper. Definitely up there with a PB, would be going 10 kilos. Solid fish. Get him up to the surface. Thankfully no sharks and no dramas because he was stoned. So I am absolutely buzzing. Ticked off a really nice coral trout and a tuskfish to start the day. This isn't bad. We've got Dion working the camera, doing his thing, being a good dive buddy.
Did you see him go under the ledge?
I didn't even hear you shot go off for nothing.
Oh really? I saw him, like I tracked him and he just went under the ledge. I was like, please still be there. Yeah, upside down, fucking
With
fish.
2 really healthy fish on board, it's time to rip the gills out of this guys, drop some guts, see if we can get a Spanish mackerel or a jobfish to come in for Dion. He dives down for a closer look, but sadly they didn't come close.
There we go, just got myself a lovely tusky. You would have seen on the shot. Dove down, upside down, stoned him. Absolute slab. Probably goes 9 kilos. Stoked with that.
With 2 solid fish on board, I'm acting as boaty, and Mon hops in the water, and she has the most incredible encounter with this sea snake. This guy was so friendly and hung around with them for about 5-10 minutes. This guy was just so fun, swirling around them, playing with their hands and their fins. Jake spots a really good sized Spanish mackerel, and Mon dives down for it. Jake's unloaded. Mon tries the old flasher hands, gets the spanny within range, but then sees this massive bull shark come in from the right. She gets a little bit nervous and decides to pass up on the shot in case the bull shark goes nuts.
There's a bull shark.
Yeah,
Do you reckon if I shot him he would go crazy?
possibly. But
Yeah. This guy is so friendly.
Mon had very quickly filled her bull shark bucket and decided to hop out, ice hop back in, dive down and get onto this coral trout. Unfortunately the fish decided to boost just as I was lining up the shot, but I take it anyway, I get him in the tail and I get up to the surface. I then maneuver the fish around the coral plate, making sure that I don't damage it, and bring the fish up to the surface. Another sea snake comes up to check out the commotion. It's absolutely crazy, this dive. There was probably 15 to 20 sea snakes. Never seen so many in Australian waters, but really cool to see, especially when they're not trying to bite my face. I raise the fish up to the boat, let them know that I'm fish on, they come over, collect it. And then it's time to see what Benji's up to. He's just dove down and shot this stonker of a coral trout, and unfortunately I give him a bit of a fright on the way up.
Sorry, man.
scared the heck out of me.
What a beautiful fish.
I've been chasing him for 3 dives.
Oh, really?
He's a good trout. Eh?
Awesome. Yeah, awesome trout. Awesome shot too.
Woo-hoo! Alright, I just had to do 3 dives to get this trout.
This is an absolutely beautiful bar cheek coral trout, and Benji was stoked with it, as you'd expect. We then got hassled with a few whalers, After this happened, there was a few fish taken, so the whalers and the bull sharks really were starting to come in. There were some silver tip sharks that were really aggressive, and every time I turned my back they kept just coming in hard. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't have a nice cobia on him, and he doesn't let me get close to take a shot anyways. But yeah, really frustrating to have these sharks around because it was great ground, but it just got to the point where something was going to go down, so we moved spots. After we've moved spots, the tide has started to swing, so worse viz starts to roll on through, but Dion manages to nail this lovely coral trout on a good shot.
I don't know what you guys dived on, but it was pretty much just rubble. There was no real structure.
We've got plenty of divers in the water in case the sharks decide to come back on force, but unfortunately this spot just wasn't firing too hard, so we decided to hop on board and try a different spot. Benji's got a few reefs marked up here, and Benji's other ground sounds really promising with some awesome swim throughs. I check out this spot and you can see a good combination of GTs, sharks, coral trout and plenty of other fish. I've had my fill of coral trout for the day. I did debate shooting the Moses perch, but I'll leave him be. He's a little bit small. I don't want to have my spear all caved up and have to deal with this at depth with the sharks around. Nice coral trout there that I could have easily plugged, but yeah, not my target species now. I'm looking for mangrove jacks. Cool lemon shark and plenty of slaties. Good old platinum snapper is not on the menu. After drifting across the reef, we move on to this different section and it really starts to fire up with all these massive silver drummer. There's plenty of tropical snappers down below, and I'm hoping that there will be some mangrove jacks. There's really good ledges here, perfect ground for them, but unfortunately none show their face. There's a good school of trevally that come by, but I'm not really after taking trevally. I've got my heart set on a mangrove jack, and I'm convinced that there's going to be a mangrove jack in one of these ledges. Unfortunately, it turned out not to be the case, and that was kind of the end of that dive. We decided to go for wonky holes, but not before I plug a little Moses perch and stone him.
Unfortunately, I'm on the boat because of my right ear's playing up, and it's just not releasing pressure as I come up, and it hurts. So I don't want to wreck it. I want to be diving tomorrow. So we've got Benji, Jake and Dion in the water, and they're drop weighting down. We're going down to about 34 meters, and check that. So we've got plenty of bait reading up, and it's a wonky hole, so with any luck there's going to be some nanny or maybe some big reds. See what the boys get. I'm hurting, I'm not in the water right now. Hurting.
I'm more than happy to hop back on the boat as my ear's playing up with the pressure, and the lads do some deep drops once more, chasing nanagai. Got Benji going down, Dion on film, and unfortunately that wonky hole just didn't have anything. I'm on lead duties, pulling the lead up from the depths.
Alright, so watching the lads, look like Dion's gone down on the fish, and then I've heard some commotion coming from Benji's snorkel, and Benji then took a dive, and they both come up to the surface, and I think Benji's gone back down. It looks like they've got fish on. Can't tell what's going on here. So Jake's just hopped in.
I'll apologise in advance for the amount of yapper that I'm talking, but
Yes.
I absolutely love being boaty and just helping the team. Spearfishing really is a team effort when you're into it with other people.
We had a malfunction with Benji's one, and now it is Dion. He's up.
It's so fun, and seeing other people get on and just trying to
Over
assist
behind
people
you.
to get onto fish, whatever
You on?
way that might be, just is the best.
Whoa.
Dion gets onto this absolutely thumping
fish, eh?
nanagai, and he's stoked, as you can
Sick
imagine.
shot too.
Wow.
Stoned.
There's hope still for Benji and Jake to get onto a nice nanagai before the sun sets.
Alright, so we're getting a bit of a build up right now. It's the last light of the day, and this is probably going to be the last drop dive. Benji's up, Dion's going down in safety, and we've got Jake who's there as well, just keeping an eye
but we are losing light rapidly. So this is Benji's shot. Can he get big fat nanny? The pressure's starting to build as the light descends into night, and fingers crossed the guys can get something on their last drop of the day. Fingers crossed, this means good things. It is always a bit nerve-wracking when you're on the boat and the boys are doing deep drops and can hold their breath for a decent amount of time, because you're never quite sure when they're going to pop up, but knowing that they're together and they've got safety dives and safety stops, you know that they're all coming up.
That's a really big hole, hey?
Unfortunately we didn't get any other nannies, but that's what tomorrow's for. I don't think they're going. Damn. Alright, so that was the haul for today. It's not the reds that we fully intended, but we got a nice nanny, got cray, tusky, and then plenty of coral trout. Not a bad day on the water at all. So good. Thanks guys. Cheers for the trip. Cheers. That's good.
Yeah. Awesome day.
Thank you. Diver Mon's on a rest day today. Jake and Dion have to go to work, so Benji and I are going to go out. Day 2 of diving with Hooking Adventures with Benji. And we've got the 255 formula going in. This thing is a beaut. Honestly, a lot of boat empty happening right now. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm with Benji from Hooking Adventures and we are getting stuck into some headland diving. Benji is a master diver local. He knows the spots really, really well, and I think he's going to put me onto some really good fish today.
Yeah, don't talk me up before we found the fish. Put a bit of pressure on me.
That's it. But yeah, so Benji took us out yesterday and we had fantastic diving. This guy really knows his stuff, and as I've never dove this kind of structure in Queensland before, and I'm really excited. The viz is pretty hazy, what you'd expect in close. Fingers crossed we don't come across any crocs, and you'll notice that there's no diver Mon. She's on a rest day today, but we'll try and get some fish for her. And yeah, I'm just stoked to be back on the boat with Benji. It's going to be good.
Yeah, awesome. Let's get into it. We got some great stuff on the headlands and maybe even some wonky holes later. So it's going to be a good day, I think.
It's going to be a cracker. Let's get it. Now this is actually up there with one of my favourite types of diving conditions. When it's murky, you've got a really strong advantage against the fish or whatever you're hunting.
All right, so after I've gathered my thoughts from losing my camera, we've just come around to another spot. I've got a lot of crayfish out of this spot before, so we're gonna divert to lobsters for a little while.
Yes, awesome. Excited to get some tropical crays. Let's get into it.
So don't forget, if they're too far to grab here, we are allowed to shoot them.
Yeah.
So New South Wales, you're obviously not allowed to shoot crayfish, but Queensland we can. So sometimes they're that deep that the only way you can do it is by shooting them, and we may have to.
Yeah.
Let's go.
After being thumped by some pretty brutal swell and incoming tide, we move spots, and Benji has some cracking holes that are filled with lobster, but unfortunately most of them are undersized until Benji comes across this hole. Got a nice cod there that I definitely would have plugged, but unfortunately we are chasing crays, so cray is just the target. He's identified a nice cray. It is right back in that hole, and it's going to take a bit of planning and prep. It might even take the gun. This cave relied heavily on picking your right set of waves. I've got the Vengeance 85 roller, and this is one of the reasons why I love the 85. Perfect for smashing fish on the reef, but then also great for plugging creatures in caves. You're not having to worry about having to swing a huge 115 around or a 120, and you can set the power down so you're not punching your spear through the rocks and making it impossible to retrieve. Unfortunately, my spear comes out of the cray. I'm putting a fair bit of tension on it, trying to get it out, and he's worked himself into a crevice that he's too big to get out of. We take another shot into the cray, and this is already too many shots that I've ever put into a cray, but he was so stubborn and just that little bit too hard to reach. Unfortunately, I needed an extra foot to properly get a hold of this cray, but I just couldn't get in. So we're going to have to try and work something out. There you can see the hole that this guy's in. He needs to be spun 180 so that he slides out of that little crevice. I get myself fully involved into the hole, and it is absolute effort. I've cut down these clips because we seriously spent about 45 minutes trying to get this lobster out of the hole, and it was painful work, but if you put in, you'll eventually get out. Stoked with the cray. He's nowhere near as big as I thought he was going to be, but that's just tropical crays for you. And he's a little bit beaten up with 2 spear holes in him, but we got him out.
Well, that must have been the hardest cray I've ever seen anyone work for in my life.
Yeah, I can testify that is the hardest cray I've ever worked for, by a long stretch as well, not even by a small amount. That is ridiculous. And yeah, then we came back up, we talked through a bit of a plan, we dove down, and he'd gone right back into the back of the hole, and the plan was if he had gone back that far, that I'd place the shot. I took a shot into him, the spear went in, and we gave a bit of a rattle round, and the spear came out, and he stayed back in his hole. Yeah, what a champion cray, and yeah, I mean, it was worth it in the end. We got him, so be persistent, and yeah, it pays dividends.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Well, from 3 metre dives to 25 to 30 metre dives, let's go.
Let's get it.
Water is crystal clear blue, really flat, and we're going to be diving, it's telling me 35.5 metres.
35, let's get it.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is the same day, and I promise you this is the same day as the dive that we just had then.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
A little bit of a difference, eh? So if you want to shoot a cod, mate, go for it.
If it's red, it's dead on this one, I reckon. Oh, we're now actually in 37. We just touched down to 36.8.
Yeah, it's
going to be some good drops, but we did this yesterday, and I think we were down to about 34, and I stupidly wore my weight belt, so it's going to be a nice ascent coming up without a weight belt this time, so we should be able to still get it, and fingers crossed there's fish on there.
Yeah, should be good. So we're going to get in this blue water.
Let's do it.
So there you go. We've got the float sitting out there with the weight on the bottom of it. On the quick release, we've got 32 metres of line to it, and we're in 35 metres of water. So Sam's just breathing up. That float, going by the GPS and the sounder, should be sitting perfectly on top of the wonky hole. And let's see if he can come up with a nanagai.
I made the right call to get out of the water early yesterday when my ear was playing up, because we're in for some deeper drops today. We're dropping down to about 35 metres using the drop weight system. Again, all pre-dive warmed up, ready to go, and first dive of the day, we go down to the depths. The sounder had picked up a ton of fish, so I was expecting to go down there and see a ton of bait, some largemouth nanagai, and maybe even some red emperor. Unfortunately, we're just off our mark. I get down to the bottom, I can't see a wonky hole, and it's very bitsy. The viz isn't as good as yesterday's diving, but that won't stop us. We'll readjust the boat and go again. When you're doing deep drops, it's super important to breathe up on the surface properly, calm yourself down, and get yourself ready. I actually close my eyes when I'm going down on the drop weight. We've set it so that it doesn't run to the bottom, so I know that when I'm getting close to the end, I can feel the line hit, I can release the lead, and then I can just drift across. Here, I can't really see the wonky hole. There might be a couple of fish in the distance, but again, if we move spots, we're definitely going to be on the money. And now it's a nice ascent back up to the surface with no weight belt. Honestly, you become like a rocket. It is so fun. You can see myself moving up very quickly, catching that air. We're going to try one more spot, and fingers crossed it's got fish.
Alright, so I've got the fun job of pulling the weight up, which is actually harder than it looks. Maybe I'm making it look harder than it is. But Sam just dropped on the first spot and we were on the wrong spot. He then dropped again once I'd moved the boat and we were on the right spot. And yeah, just nothing down there. He said it was dead. Like yesterday we had cod and all sorts of stuff on this, and today not. So it is what it is. We're going to reload to another one and go again.
Once we move the boat over, we get ready, I do a breathe up and drop straight back in. Benji's on drop weight line retrieval, so massive thanks to him, and something about this dive just felt really good. I felt like we'd put in a bit of work for it and we'd navigated directly above the wonky, should land on the gold, fingers crossed. We make our way down to the bottom and I release the drop weight at about 32 meters. I then drift down a bit further and have a little scan around. What can I see? Right, nanny spotted. This is awesome. Now, how do I get close to this fish? I've never actually hunted nanagai before like this, so I have no idea how they react. So I just want to stay calm, investigate the hole, and see if I can do another drop and get a bit closer to the fish. Go up, reset, and drop back down, and sure as, there's my nanny. That is my target that I've come for. Now I just need to get closer to the fish. It's a bit hard to gauge perception of size down here because we are really deep and it's hard to tell what size fish they are. But I line up this shot, I'm a little bit off, but the fish is a bit of a distance from me. I take the shot and unfortunately I've got a bit of a gut shot, but I decide to release the reel, head back up to the surface and ensure that I keep this fish. One of the best things about diving wonky holes is there's not much structure for the fish to actually wrap up on, so you can take it a bit easier as you make your way up to the surface. I am absolutely stoked that I'm fish on, and unfortunately the fish went a little bit limp on the line and I thought I might have cooked this.
Oh, I got him, just on a really shit shot, so I don't know if he's tore off. I don't know what's going on, but we'll bring him up, see what's happened. Yeah, he's good.
I quickly realised that there is still a decent amount of weight on the end of my spear, and it's time to retrieve the line. I've probably spooled roughly 40-45 metres of line on this fish, so it's time to slowly bring him back up. I don't want to put too much tension on the line because I'm not sure how much of a holding shot I got on the fish. I didn't actually see if the spear had gone the whole way through the fish or just into the fish when I was coming up. So I just wanted to play it nice and slowly, drift it up, and just hope that this fish doesn't get sharked. There's definitely a ton of excitement, but a bit of nerve going through my body as I hope that I can keep this fish on. Until we get the fish right to the surface, I'm a bit cautious, have to play the line and just hope that the fish stays on and doesn't get sharked. We work our way up and I'm trying to play it in increments, gauging from the pressure of the fish pulling on the line and just working out when I can pull up. Maintaining a constant swim so I keep the line away from me so I'm not getting tangled with the line and the current. As we get closer and closer to the fish coming to the surface, it feels like I've been pulling this guy up for a lifetime, but he is definitely still on.
Bro, just let's get him in biz. If I don't care who shoots, you can shoot, but just see if it needs a second shot.
Unfortunately, disaster strikes as the nanny wraps himself around the drop weight line. This could be really dangerous because if the fish decides to run, it will take the tension of the drop weight line and it could potentially tear out. Benji makes the executive decision to dive down, line up a shot, and absolutely rail this fish through the brain. Nice stone shot, fight is dead instant, and now I can celebrate.
What a shot too! Holy shit, thank you. Yeah, I couldn't tell if the flopper's gone like inside him or not.
And I saw it wrapping.
Yeah.
I thought if he could get really caught.
Yeah.
So I just did it.
Yeah, awesome. Much appreciated. Such a shit shot. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is a fish.
Mission complete. How bloody good. Right, I'm so grateful you put that second shot into it. When it started to spiral round the drop line, I was like, oh, hold on, we're gonna be in for some trouble here. But yeah, fucking awesome. What a beautiful fish. Teamwork making the dream work.
That is sick.
I'm over the fucking moon.
Yes.
All right, let's get her on the boat and let's get you one, eh?
Now this definitely is a fish of a lifetime. This fish is an absolute stonker. Not many people get to shoot this fish in their lifetime, let alone as their first nanagai. I'm so stoked. I cannot wait to eat this fish. Need to remember to take the spears out, rip the gills out, bleed the fish as quickly as possible, get rid of those guts, and then we'll get some quick action shots of the fish before chucking him on ice. As you can see, I'm a very happy wet mammal.
How is that? Absolutely stoked. I am so glad we came out for this. Holy, that's a first. My nanny with help from Benji, so massive thanks, man. Beyond stoked.
Mate, that is such a good fish. That is honestly what dreams are made out of right there.
Whew.
That is awesome. Well done, dude.
Heck yeah.
35 metre nanny.
35 metre nanny, Queensland style.
All right, let's get him on the boat.
Oh my days. How is that?
That
Beautiful.
is awesome, man.
What a fish. Go from there.
He's got to be around about a 90 centimetre fish. There's 80 right back in there, and there's his mouth. So, mate, that is epic. Well done.
Absolutely stoked. So good. All right, you're up.
With my first nanagai and tropical crayfish firmly on ice, it's time for Benji to get in the water and get his nanny. Benji executes his first drop weight dive and fingers crossed he can land onto the spot. There was another nanny when I was down there, but after I've taken my shot and after all the commotion, that nanagai might have moved on. Benji heads down into the depths with high hopes. Unfortunately, when he gets down there, the place is almost deserted. This is pretty common when you take a big fish from an area. Most of the other fish scatter. So we reset the line, Benji does a nice breathe up on the surface and gets ready for another drop. Down on the bottom, Benji does come across a nanagai, but it's in the distance. He's got to work his way towards this fish. He checks out his surroundings to see if there's any closer, and he just decides to swim up to this fish. It takes a bit of a dive away, but not too far. Benji takes another drop, comes down, lands on this beautiful wonky hole, and where is that nanny? The hunt is on.
Oh man, Sam's just pulling the weight up for me again. What a great guy he is. Over and over pulling it up. Getting a little bit frustrating, but really cool. That wonky hole just then was one we dived yesterday, and a friend of ours shot about a, what was it, 9.5 kilo nanagai on, and there was more there when we left it, and unfortunately today I've just done 2 dives on it and didn't see a single fish. If not, it's all good because we had a goal today to get Sam a number 1, a first ever, and he's got it.
Absolutely stoked. Still, even every time we get on the boat, I'm like, yes, there's a fish under here. How good.
We did, we achieved the goal.
But we do want to get you one. Like, I'm so keen. Like, yeah, I'm living vicariously through you now. It was fun shooting the first one, but I want you to get that second one, so.
Yeah, look, I'm trying.
Pressure.
I'm putting a lot of effort into it. I'm definitely keen, but at the same time, I know I'll be coming back here, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
But we're not going home just yet.
The light is falling rapidly and Benji's chances are slowly diminishing, but we've both still got so much hope that he's going to get onto a fish. He's seen nannies, I've shot a nanny, this needs to happen. After moving spots and resetting the boat, we go back to the spot where we had seen nanagai before, and Benji takes another plummet to the depths. Diving now in roughly 34-35 meters of water, he makes his way down to the bottom, and this might just be it. This could be him. He gets a good shot into the fish. It's a solid holding shot with the spear going straight through. As long as that flopper deploys, he is very much fish on. He makes his way to the surface, and coming shortly behind is this donkey of a nanagai. He's absolutely done it. I am so excited.
Yeah! Oh, yeah! Look at the colours! Alright, you did it! Oh man, that was such a hard fight to get this fish. I did so many drops. I don't know, I must have done somewhere between 6 and 8 drops all up across both wonkies. And came back to the first one and just first drop, dropped down, and I saw him a fair way off in the distance. I think he was the only one there, and I had to chase him a fair bit. Like, he didn't come to me, he was swimming away from me, so I kicked after him a bit, and I was trying to be really slow just to stalk him, and he finally sort of just turned side on, and I thought, that's my chance, and plugged this fish at about 35 metres. All right. What a beaut. Oh. Aren't they just absolutely beautiful? So cool to pull this guy out of the deep water, and really cool that Sam and I both managed to get a largemouth nanagai today, so absolutely stoked.
There's always something that makes me laugh with guys holding fish, but we really are over the moon.
We have it. We are well and truly done with Queensland, and yeah, had big dramas with the cray this morning, but we got onto him. But thanks to Benji's choice, we went out for nannies, and we've done it, mate. Thank you,
Mate, well done.
massive thanks. Yeah, with the dives, it was a bit of a challenge. Like, obviously, I did a couple of dives. I think 4 or 5, yeah, I think that's about right. And Benji did probably 7, and he was coming pretty close to the end of his diving, and he'd said, so it's really important to just be really conscious of your limits, and like if you are getting fatigued, if you are getting tired, just call the plug, because if it's not worth it. But Benji stayed within his limits, he knew what he was doing, got down, and it paid dividends. You got the fish, mate?
I did, yeah. Nah, thanks for coming out, and I'm really stoked to get you your first nanagai, and to be honest, your first is most people's PB. What an awesome fish, dude.
I can't believe it. But yeah, it's been a cracking 2 days out on the boat with Benji. We've shot some fantastic fish. You would have seen the tusky and stuff like that, and yeah, it's awesome to be able to come up and explore Queensland with somebody that's put the time into the reef, and then I can kind of come up and quickly clear up. But yeah, massive thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Nice.
It's been awesome.
Good fish.
All right. Until next time, stay wet, stay fed. Catch ya.
Tell me about your dog.
Yeah, so from memory, did my breathe up and everything. Felt really good on the surface as I went into the dive. Dropped down, and then I just closed my eyes and waited until I was near the bottom. When I got to the bottom, I just opened my eyes up, and the first thing that I could see was like cod down on the ground. And I had a quick little scan around. I did a small little swivel, and then I noticed that there was some of those slaty brim, and then all of a sudden, sat higher in the water column, maybe 1.5 meters off the bottom, was one of the nannies. And I saw that there was 2 others together, but they were further away. So I decided to creep up on the nanny, and I don't know how they behave at all, so I had no real expectation whether it was going to bolt or not. I felt like I was close enough within range that I was going to take a bit of a, not quite a Hail Mary, but not a precise shot. And I took the shot, and I went straight into the guts. I did come out on the other side, but I didn't know that at the time. And then I went up. I wasn't going to play around. I had the reel loose already, so it just started spooling a bit. Went up to the surface, and then I just had to kind of play the tension gauged on the gut shot, so I was really light on. And then I communicated with you, just having a chat, saying, oh, shit shot, mate, like, yeah, second shot if needed, like, I don't know, like, I know it's not good. And then I think we just worked him up to the surface, and you kept a bit of distance on him, and you were just assessing what was going on, how it was playing out. And then as soon as he started to wrap around the drop line, then you could see, all right, well, this isn't going to end well if he has a second run. So you dove down, put a shot through his head, and as soon as that shot went through, all the tension out of my body was gone, like the relief, the stress, everything. That fish was pegged.
I was down at like 10 metres or wherever the fish was, and I could hear you cheering.
Yeah, I never cheer until I'm like, actually, fish on confirmed. And you put that second shot in, I was like, so yeah, absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to see the footage. Yeah.
It's gonna look awesome.
And just like that, the Queensland trip has come to an end. Here's a cheesy shot looking off into the distance, but we putt back. I am over the moon. It's always awesome diving with fantastic people, and what a trip. Queensland, you've been a beaut, and I cannot wait to come back. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit that like, subscribe, stay tuned for the next one. Until next time, stay wet, stay fed. Catch ya.